Well, it's been a couple days, so guess what? We have a new scandal involving Republican Representative George Santos, because at this point, it's every 2 to 3 days a new scandal breaks. Now, the most recent one from the end of last week over the weekend was, of course, the reports that he may have stolen puppies from an Amish dog breeder. I mean, you can't get any more cartoon villain than stealing puppies. No word yet on whether or not he was planning on making a coat out of them, but, you know, it is what it is. But this new scandal is a $365,000 scandal for George Santos. $365,000, of course, being the amount of money that is now unaccounted for in his campaign finance disclosures. Now, the way it works, as we have talked about many times, especially with regard to George Santos, is that every dollar you spend on a campaign has to be accounted for, with the exception of anything under $200. So if you spent $199.99, you don't have to report what it was for, or you write down what it was for, but you don't have to give a receipt, which, by the way, Santos actually has dozens of expenses on his report for $199.99, which is just theoretically impossible, but okay, I get it. But now there's another $365,000 that is unaccounted for. It's listed as spent, and based on a New York Times investigation, they can't figure out just where in the hell it went. In order for it to be legitimate and not problematic, that would mean that George Santos would have had to have spent $199.99 at 1,800 different times. There is a 0% chance that that is even humanly possible, right? You go out and you make 1,800 purchases right now, and you try to get even a handful of them to total after tax $199.99, you're not going to be able to do it. But according to the Santos campaign, they may have done it 1,800 times. The scandals with Santos are getting worse. Some are getting dumber for sure, like the puppy stealing thing, but these campaign finance irregularities, we'll call them, this is serious stuff. Now, we do know the FEC, the Federal Elections Commission, is supposed to be looking at this. We have New York state authorities, local New York authorities, county authorities in New York. They are also looking at some of this, as well as some other things, potential Ponzi schemes. We have the United States Department of Justice that is most likely going to be looking into him. So far, as I mentioned last week, there's 8 different entities in the United States and Brazil that are either currently actively investigating George Santos or will be launching investigations into George Santos. But again, we can't go 3 days without a new scandal breaking with this guy. I have never seen anything like this in my life, even with Donald Trump. I mean, could you imagine, like, Santos has been in office for 6 weeks now? Could you imagine if we had had this many scandals to start the Trump administration? I know we had a lot, but dang, we didn't have this many. Santos has somehow broken that record, and by the time you're watching this, we may have moved on to a completely different scandal at this point. Because that's how corrupt this guy is. The scandals are not going to stop. Republicans could put an end to it. They could hold a vote today to kick him out of office. But they won't do that. They're going to let the embarrassment continue, and they are the ones who are going to pay the price for it. So keep him around if you want. It's only going to hurt your chances in the future. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.